Hello everyone, today I want to make a video on how to make Agar with the recipe of PDA and TrippyTek. So it's going to be a step-by-step video and you can follow with me. The first thing we're going to check is the recipe, how to make it properly with all the ingredients one by one, and how to sterilize properly in the pressure cooker, Presto 23 quarts, and also how to pour our Agar plate also the good way. If you want more info, I made a super big mind map available in the cloud with the link in the description below. It's gonna be more in depth and how to make agar and to make your own agar. So in this recipe, we're gonna use 500 milliliters of water with 10 grams of agar, 10 grams of potato flakes, and 5 grams of dextrose. There's many recipes out there. You don't have to worry too much about the quantity exact of course, but in this, at least you have to keep it in the range. So for the agar is between 1 and 2%. So in this recipe we use 2%. It's also easier to calculate because with 500 milliliters it's 10 grams. So agar we can find in Asian grocery stores. That's exactly where you're gonna find it most rapidly. You can also find it online, of course, but usually if you use a telephone brand in Asian store, you're gonna be a good price, good value. The role of the agar is to be the gelling agent, and that's we use agar instead of a jello because it can solidify at lower temperature and it's very useful for growing microorganisms. Then the potato flakes, this is more common. You can find in normal grocery stores. I'll show you some brand here you can check, and this is gonna be used as an energy source. So food full of fungi. This is gonna read the role of the complex carbohydrates. That's why we use the dextrose, because it's gonna be more a good mix, gonna be better for the mushroom together, and it's pretty cheap ingredient you can find. The dextrose, this is more, you can find it more in health grocery stores, or of course you can find online, but it's just, you can also replace by any sugar rolls. So this means table sugar. We're gonna use 5 grams, and it's gonna be used for immediate energy for the fungi. So that's why it's gonna be a role of a simple sugar. So we're gonna have a good energy mix with the potato flakes, and it's pretty also cheap, you can find, so you can have plenty of that for a long time. Also, I had some food coloring just to differentiate between if it was PDA or it was malt extract. So just a personal touch, I use some blue, and one touch is going to be clear blue. It's going to be good. That's optional, of course. Then after the mix, you can shake it vigorously to be ready to be in the pressure cooker. Then also, before we put in the pressure cooker, we're gonna unscrew it just a little bit, so we'll make sure the steam can go inside, and we're gonna still put the foil on top to protect any contaminant, and you also don't want water to go inside, only steam. Okay. Next, we're gonna do the pressure cooker. Please make sure to make at least a pre-check for your pressure cooker. That's why here I check the main vent pipe. That's where the steam gonna come out. Is it clear? Yes, it is clear, and it's clean also, so we're good to go. For this, then I just double check the locking valve if it's moved freely. This is what gonna tell us if there's pressure or not inside. And also the gasket, you just make a check. A visual check is in good condition. Then we're gonna add our water in the pressure cooker of Presto 23 quarts. The minimum amount of water is 3 quarts. In this case here, I use 12 cups, so it's about 3 liters. Also, I had some vinegar, eliminate any stain that can have on our jar or cooker body. Then here we're gonna use our spacer. Again, we don't want the object we're gonna put inside the burning, and we don't want to be in the bottom. We want to be the steam. So that's why some people here use some jar ring because the trivet here is a little bit low and you don't want to do anything too much submerged. For the agar, you want to be not too much submerged. But in our case, we're gonna use something much better. My own racks that I preferred because it's clear, more better weight, better height, sorry, and you can, and at the end you can double check it is unscrewed and the foil is properly there. So just a small tips when you're gonna have to close it, make sure the two lines are in line together, then it's gonna be closed properly. That's the main reason it's there. And when it's closed, you can put the power on, and don't put the weight yet. You need to make sure it's venting for a good amount of time, 10-15 minutes minimum. Then you can put your weight on and wait until the pressure builds up. So when the pressure builds up, just monitor when it's having 15 psi. You check your gauge if it's properly caliber. So around 15, you should have your weight start to jiggling. So now you know your pressure gauge is properly, and also you can start the timer to sterilize for 15 psi for 30 minutes for the agar. So once your timer is done, 35 minutes, you can start to stop the heat. And a small tips also is to move the pressure cooker out of the heat source. This doesn't disturb anything, but just gonna cool faster. You just have to let it cool by itself, and don't have to remove the weight. When it's time to, you just monitor. When it's time to zero, you don't open the pressure cooker lid yet. You have to be sure that yes, the gauge is zero, but the small locking valve at the end just drop. So now you're sure there's no pressure, and actually it's unlocked, so you can proceed and open the lid, remove the weight. And when you remove the lid, it's still gonna be hot, so make sure you let the steam go out outside of you, not inside to you. So that's why you keep it this kind of this way. It's still gonna be hot. That's why we don't cool overnight, because we want to use the agar right away to pour our plate still hot before it's gonna be solidified. So now we have to screw it back, move into our sab. Then when it's inside our stiller box, you can remove the foil. Take your gun of temperature, monitor the temperature. Now the agar is gonna go from like very high to low, and the ideal temperature is between 45 and 50 degrees Celsius. This is between 115 and 120 Fahrenheit. Because if you pour it too early, you're gonna have a lot of condensation in your plate, and this can be a pain in the ass, but that's why we need to pour it at optimal. Your agar is gonna solidify between 32 and 40, so just on top of that, between 45 and 50 degrees Celsius is a good range to start pouring plate. So when we pour a plate, you always start from the bottom. That's how you're gonna also prepare, manage the condensation, because the stack is gonna be all gonna be warm together. and probably only the top one's gonna have a lot of condensation, but you don't have to do that. Well, that's the way it is. But if you have a good temperature you pour, well, you're gonna also reduce the amount of condensation. So you don't have to do anything. Just pour slowly and make sure you with this open air you go quickly but not too fast. Also, it's the stiller box, not the flow hood, so you have to move slowly in the stiller box. So if you're looking for a stiller box like that with the racks come in, the lights come in, also everything is included, and also the induction sterilizer on the right. That's why I use this stiller box. And also if you're looking for, you can check on TrippyTek.com. So yeah, you can check when I remove my stack of Petri dish together, I make sure I remove it from the package. Then I'm gonna do my wrapping the dish. In this case I use a cling wrap. The only reason is because my parafilm, you can use parafilm, it's more expensive, more professional also, but in my place it's there's a lot of it's drying out. So you just go slowly, go around, you make one turn and a half, maybe two, and it's gonna make the job. Then you stack back your Petri dish upside down in your storage area. Half of them is gonna not have any more of condensation. So I hope you like this video in this type of content, and we're gonna use a malt extract how to make your own agar if you don't have any of these ingredients, what the science says between how to use it. And if you're looking for a stiller box, and you can check on TrippyTek.com. And I hope you have a good mushroom growing.